Who's there? Oh, it's you. Come on in. Have a seat. Want a coffee? Hello and welcome to another sit-in here at Tailor-Made Scale Modeling. As it become a habit, here is one of my cups from the coffee cup collection. This is just from Düsseldorf, so this time it's not exotic. Düsseldorf is the city in Germany where I visited the university. It's where I met my wife and where ultimately my son was born some 10 years plus ago. So of course this Düsseldorf coffee mug holds a very special place in my heart. It's another one of those from the chain coffee store from Seattle. But I do have different cups. And here's one special thing. I'm gonna have a little competition here. The first one to tell me what language is written on the following coffee cup and what country this coffee cup from will receive a prize. A modeling prize, of course. I hope you can see that. If you can tell me what language it's shown and what country I bought this in, you'll receive a prize. A modeling prize. All right. Let's see if somebody can find out. Okay, just a little bit of the things I've done lately. I've been working on the Zonda Anhänger 202, and this is actually a part of the build, which is a lot of fun. It's the dragon part of the model kit, and I have to say I like it, but it has some of the, well, let's say, usual engineering difficulties when it comes to Dragon and Cyber hobby kits. It's good fun, but it's very difficult, and you can see all these itty bitty tiny pieces in here that takes a lot of doing to get them aligned nicely. This part is ready for painting. There will be a final assembly after painting because there's more sub-assemblies to it. Right now I'm working on the second dolly here, and well, it's fun, but it's kind of slow really, because there's so many little parts, and believe me or not, there's about 5 connector parts for each individual part in here. These connector points are basically killing all the fun, because cleaning is what you do all the time. I cannot really tell you even how many parts are involved to build a section like that, but I think it's must be about 90 to 100 parts, I guess. Well, I don't really know. I will count them once I'm finished, but this is not the topic today, because this is a sit-in. This is not a an update, a build update for the North Africa group build, nor for the Big Spring Contest 2014, which, by the way, has started, I don't know, 10 days ago already. Damn. So 1/9 of the duration of this contest is already gone. And I'm just happy that I have chosen the all open category so I can continue to build this little guy here. Okay. Yeah, as I said, it's not that difficult of a build once you have cleaned up all the parts, but then again, before fitting them, you need to really test fit everything. It's so complicated, and this one, for example, won't fit properly. Now this will have to be remedied. Okay, so what's been going on ever since the last sit-in? Well, there's a couple of things I would like to mention here. First, couple of names in the net. Okay. If you haven't really seen it, please visit Mr. Bob's Builds here on the YouTube. Excellent show of craftsmanship, very nice tutorials and so on. I don't know, I think he doesn't have even so many videos up, but the quality is showing is just amazing, and they're very entertaining to watch. This is both for the advanced and the intermediate builder as well as the beginner. I mean, there's so much to learn, and it's really well done. Okay, so Mr. Bob's Builds, go visit. Next, okay, shout outs have to go to Panzerman Bill. Of course, his very unique style. He is probably, you know, you could call him a legend on the net already. It's so much fun to watch what he's doing. I very much like the marker artwork he always presents with every new build. Then Technical Jackalope, fantastic inbox reviews within the last couple of days. Nice, neat look at the stash and so on. Really, Technical Jackalope, I totally love the way he's very natural on the net. It's just great to watch. It's a lot of fun. Carlos Santos, he's been mentioned very frequently, very recently. He's been around for a long time, I think, but well, I just had the favor of finding or being made aware of his channel only a few weeks ago. So fantastic builder, absolutely fantastic. Unique opinions on things, and yeah, it's hard not to agree with him on these opinions. He's very obviously one of the guys out there who's treasuring the hobby a lot for himself personally and as a social event. So Carlos Santos, very much worth watching. As well, my last shout out goes to Eon757. He made a couple of comments on my previous sit-in, and I have to say I very much agree with him that yeah, there's so many things in the hobby that are changing, and eventually they are coming back to the qualities that were really already used by our fathers in this hobby. It's working clean, craftsmanship, ingenuity. It's all coming together in this beautiful place called Scale Model Hobby. And of course, like our fathers, we try to do our best, and I think the hobby is progressing much above the quality level we would have had like 15 years ago, even 10 years ago probably. I think today you see a lot more quality, and I think it's a good thing. We can be happy about it. It's ever more inspiration for us every day out there. It's a brilliant hobby, really. Okay. This is one of the moments you really get to feel that you work with a Dragon kit. Everything is laid out and planned very well, but the fit is so tight, it's very difficult to get everything in place properly. And then you'll feel probably that a number of the gaps, like in here, will not be closing properly because the parts just don't fit into each other as they're supposed to. Not happy with that. But not much we can do. Can dig a little here. Okay. When modeling, I like to achieve a point of working with rhythm, which I like to call the flow. When things are happening intuitively, and when all your experience and knowledge of the action you're taking on the workbench are just flowing into a continuous process. And if you reach this process, if you reach this process, I call it the flow. Of course, the flow is not my invention. It's, I think it's a working theory that's been existing a long time, but this is usually applied to working processes, and I like to transfer this model of working style into scale modeling, into my scale modeling. I feel very much that at a certain point the individual action is not very deliberate anymore, but more like an intuitive thing that happens to you when you sit here at the bench and you're putting the pieces together of your puzzle. And well, I'm starting to hate this cleaning rod holder here. Just doesn't want to play along. Okay, that was good. That is in there. Try. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty much it. Oh, this is... everything is so tight in here. Very difficult. But to tell you the truth, I enjoy this a lot. This is a little bit like watchmaking, and I get into the flow very easily on this kit because there's so many things you have to do. Problem is only that there are pitfalls of this kit, like the combination of Bronco and is it Bronco? Yes, Bronco and Dragon. Down here there's a pin. This pin here is supposed to fit into the cross mounting right there, but this pin here is way too big, and if you don't cut it away, you're not able to properly put the gun onto the Zonda Anhänger here. So please keep that in mind if you're modeling this kit. If you want proper traveling setup, then you have to remove that pin down there or widen the gap on the cross mounting. Both will be okay. During the past 2 weeks, I found it increasingly difficult to follow all the great updates out there on the net, and frankly speaking, it's becoming a problem. There, of course, with the internet, there is so much excellence at our fingertips. We can see and watch great modelers every day to a big extent. We can see and experience their work, following along all the individual steps along the way, and frankly speaking, it's a marvelous experience, but it's just getting too much. It's quite frankly impossible to follow all the great modeling taking place on the internet today. I think I'm having like 80 subscription or something like that, and that is giving me so much. This is providing me with so much online entertainment. I could be modeling 5 or 6 hours every day. It is really, really hard to keep up with everyone out there. So I think one of the things I will have to do within the oncoming month is to reduce the number of videos I watch. I have not yet really developed a policy of what I will be watching and what not, because, you know, sometimes you have more time, then you can watch more, but at a minimum I think I will very much stick to watching for the next 3 months what is on the Africa group build and whatever is going on in the big spring contest at Scale Model Addict. Because these are the 2 topics that are at the center of my own modeling right now. I don't want to be, you know, I don't know how to say that in English properly, unappreciative. You know, so let's put it the other way. I totally appreciate all the input I can get from everywhere. This is the car builders. I always watch CT Speed Shop. I always watch Dr. Cranky, and I will probably continue to do that, but there are so many great other builders out there. I mean, Chevy Cheeseburger, Fast Freddy, S-Roth. I mean, just to name a few. And there's many more. And if you try to follow these on a daily basis, I don't just have the time. I don't have the time. It's just not there. And right now, with lots of the build updates from the big spring contest and so on, spring contest and so on, it's really difficult to decide, what's worth watching or what's not. And actually, it's not fair to ask this question about what's worth watching. Everything is worth watching, I think, because everybody puts an individual effort into the action and has the guts to show it. I mean, there's a lot of great modeling out there you will never know about because the modelers don't have the heart or the guts or the balls or whatever you want to call it to show off. That is always a problem. You just see a limited part of the hobby all the time, and there's much more to see, much more to experience. But what Mama doesn't know. Whoops! There you go. Well, I will keep on watching CT Speed Shop and Dr. Cranky and of course some other things here and there, but I will concentrate on watching those videos in connection with my group build and the contest right now. I will continue to make videos along the way of what I'm doing, and of course there's much more to see in between. It will be very much depending on the quality of the program, on the topics coming up, but I will have to review. So please, if you want me to see something, please tell me. Give me an email, give me something like that to indicate what I should be seeing, because I will probably not be reacting to all your shoutouts. I mean, there's so many great shoutouts. I really keep forgetting them because there's so many of them, and I'm so grateful, and it's just, this is a great, super great community, and so friendly, and it's just, it's breaking my heart really to say no in whatever way. I'm not a naysayer, absolutely not. But I find myself in a position to say yes too many times. That's me. Having a hard time saying no, really. If you knew how much I'm behind my actual schedule in, many things like magazine articles, reviews for internet pages, my own builds, family obligation, it's just, man, it is really difficult to keep up with everything, and I will have to reduce commitments somehow during the course of this year, because I feel very, very good being here on the YouTube and with the internet community, with the almost daily updates from specialists like Cohen and you see Aaron Newlands a lot, and I really like to listen to them, and I try to do as much as I can. Oh, if you're wondering, is with this brush, I'm picking up small amounts of white glue and put that into seams, small seams, to make them disappear. So this helps avoiding to make pieces look like they've been stuck onto something, and instead they will look like as if part of the original parts composition. I love your white glue, great stuff. Wouldn't know how to live without it, really. I mean, modeling wise, of course. By the way, all these parts I've been working on for the past minutes, they have been dry fitted and cut to fit. In the last session already, there was a whole lot of cutting necessary to make them fit, actually. So just in case you wonder how brilliantly these parts fall together, that's just not the case for the model kit as such. Very nice. In a build as complex as this, I can only recommend to study the instruction over and over again before you go into any sub-assembly, because you can run into problems because the kit or the instructions don't always tell you what to properly do. Just in case you're using options. I mean, these parts are cleverly, mixed and blended, and there are some parts changed to make it work. But overall, this kit is, as many others, a compromise in many places. It's neither fully workable for traveling, neither for firing setup. Everything is just a compromise, and if you want to have it perfect, then you need to adjust the kit to your need. Very nice. Okay, more parts to take care of. All right. What else? Something we should talk about. Well, parts F3. Sorry, gotta concentrate on this here first. watching you guys build is a great inspiration indeed. You see, I mean, everybody of us gets into a slump sooner or later. I think that's a normal thing, and it's part of our hobby, and we just have to properly deal with it. Nobody can go on building models without a break for decades on end. That's what I think, at least. It's just everybody needs a break. It's from everything. I mean, from the job, from the family, from from oneself sometimes. And I think it's a healthy reaction of the mind when being challenged in whatever form. The fun part about the hobby is that after a break, coming back could actually mean that you have really improved while doing nothing. That's what I think sometimes. It's when I take an extended break, for example, summer vacation time. This is 6 weeks in summer. My wife is a teacher and my son goes to school. Meaning for 6 weeks, they're both sitting here at home and I can basically get no building done whatsoever. So the most clever move for me is to just make sure that during these 6 weeks I don't tackle any modeling project of any serious kind. I mean, I don't know, a weekend build or something like that is okay, but I can't run any project that starts before the summer break, and I cannot carry it through the summer. Usually these projects end up as shelf queens in my case, because if I do not make sufficient progress, I lose interest. I have quite a few shelf queens, and at a certain point I will certainly get them all together and make a little show about shelf queens. So maybe that's the next best thing after showing the stash is our shelf of shame. That's something worth showing, I think. And I think most of us have something like that. I don't really know how many unfinished projects I have. I can't really tell, but there are not a few. That I can tell. How about you? You have a shelf of shame? You have a backlog of unbuilt kits or partially built kits that's really bugging you? I'd be interested. I think if I put them all together, it's probably 12 or 15 that are sitting in various stages of completion. Some have been sitting for years, actually, like my first armor project. There's a Stück 4 with Ostketten, and I never finished it. It's probably, construction is, say, 90% finished. Never got around to finish it. I don't know. Just lost interest. And that's a problem about losing interest for me in most projects, is if I lose the interest, it's just gone. It's not coming back. It's remarkable, really, because if I can keep going on a single project for 9 months, if I don't stop in between. If I have to stop in between, it's becoming a shelf queen. It's just like that. This is why I hardly ever build several projects at the same time. Because I am afraid to lose the interest on the running thing. If I keep the build going, then I keep the interest up for me. I mean, it works for me. Probably for you it works differently. Few of you, or many of you, have multiple projects running all at the same time. That's not my cup of tea. Isn't that just beautiful? Look at this. This little part here. This little part. These are the brackets for the fenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 connectors. Or 5 stubs to remove on a part big as that. That's dragon. I really wonder if that is really necessary. I really wonder. I mean, these parts are flawless basically. If you are able to remove all that crap, then it's just perfect. But you know, it's taking you so much time, and you always need to be careful. And well, what can I say? That's modeling. I mean, it's part of the fun, of course, but sometimes it seems so redundant. Why do we have to do that all the time? Huh? Well, this case, it's definitely a record breaker. You see, I'm using this scratching technique a lot on this kit. And I think I have changed blades about 5 times now in this kit already. Usually I go through a whole build with 2 blades. So this is really a lot of cleanup I have to do, and everyone has to do on this build. Alright. Good, we are coming up on 45 minutes. Are we? No, 40 minutes now. But I think that's enough for every one of us. Thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look inside. Again, I'm sorry if I am not replying to as many videos in the next 3 months as I usually did. It's just that I have to consequently reduce my activities on the YouTube to be able to finish this contest. And you know, this is not about winning, this is about finishing for me, getting it done in time. If I win, that's cool. If I don't win, that's cool too. I don't care that much, but I care to finish, and I can't finish if I try to dance at every wedding. So they say. And so say we all. Gentlemen, ladies, I know there are a few of you watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you next time here at TailorMade Scale Modeling with another sit-in. Thanks and take care. Bye-bye.